All right, Leandra has a question. She says, y'all talk about bedazzling your basic life, especially in the early stages of wealth building. What have been your favorite bedazzled memories or ways that y'all have bedazzled your lives? So for those of us watching, wanting to bedazzle our basic lives, what are some of your favorite ways that you've done that in the past?
I'd love for you to start, Brian, because I know you got some that you got those locked in the chamber, ready to go.
Well, one of my favorite things, I even made the entire firm do one of them because I was like, these guys are going to love it. If I love this so much, surely the whole financial firm would love this. So if you go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, there is Ruby Falls, which is you take this elevator shaft all the way underground. I can't remember if you're like 26 miles underground or something, but you're way underground. And then it's somehow after you walk. I mean, as a kid, it felt like you walked 6 miles, but it's not that long of a walk. And it's all lit up and stuff. But there's this huge waterfall that they have like music and lights and stuff that they play. I like Sea Rock City. If you're anywhere in the Southeast, you'll see every red barn or a lot of red barns will say Sea Rock City. That stuff's fun. I've seen the Noah's Ark, that's up, and then there's the Creation Museum out of Cincinnati. I mean, and then I will tell you also on Bedazzle, that's all the road trips. And then I've shared with you guys that in my mid to late 20s, my wife and I saved up for a few years and actually went to Italy on the cheap. I mean, we talking about Bedazzle basic. Now look, it was not a luxurious trip. We were, as y'all have heard me say many times, dragging our luggage literally down the cobblestone streets. But it was definitely something that was great on blossoming memories because all those funny things that were quirks or maybe inconveniences have turned into fun, blossoming, good memories that we laugh about. But so those are some of the things. But road trips, do-it-yourself improvements at my house when I couldn't afford the nice stuff, and then also, just saving up for a few years for that bedazzled basic European trip.
I love it. I've got a few that came to mind really quickly. I just don't like spending money. When I was younger,
imagine that.
When I was younger, I really did not like spending money, and so I do the thing where if I ever went on a trip, went on a vacation, right, I'm like ordering like the cheapest thing off of the menu and drinking water and all this kind of stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. One of the things that we found early on in our marriage that was great and a great way to bedazzle was going to an all-inclusive. Like, right? So and not all-inclusives have to be super, super expensive, and not all-inclusives have to be like super, super janky. There's some like middle ground there where you can do some really good stuff. And if you are a financial mutant who has apprehension about like going on a nice vacation and staying at a nice place and then also having to dole out money for nice food, all-inclusives are kind of a wonderful solution there because then you can get the good food and you can go on the excursion and you can have all the experience and you already know what you're paying for it. So I don't know if that quite counts as bedazzling basic, but that's something we did early on in our marriage that was awesome. Another thing that I found really, really interesting is recognizing what the people around you love. A couple years ago, took the girls to Disney. And I was like, this is going to be it. It's going to be magical. And we did all the things and we spent $1 gazillion and we just blew it out. You know what my kid's favorite part of Disney was?
What?
The pool at the resort. Absolutely the pool at the resort. Fast forward, we come back from that trip and have to go to a family reunion and we stay up in this cabin in the North Georgia mountains. And I mean, it's like a little Airbnb, nothing. And I just let my kids go out and explore in the woods and like play in the creek. They still talk about it to this day. They don't ever talk about like the Disney trip. They talk about that. And so recognizing what your people love, that trip costs, next to nothing to go do that. And then you said like road trips and stuff. I have a group of guys. Every year we go on a guys trip. We'll go somewhere and go play golf or something. And instead of buying plane tickets and flying all over, we'll all meet in a central location. We'll all drive to wherever we're going because we recognize that half the fun for us is just getting to joke and laugh on the car ride down to wherever we are. And that's stuff that you can do both early on in life and you can continue to do those things even later on in your wealth building journey.
You know why your girls didn't have a good time at Disney?
Because we didn't take the Prestons.
You didn't take Uncle Brian with you.
If you
put it on idea, half-baked, idea 1026 is we ought to organize like taking big crews down to Disney World so they could get a true money guy experience.
And the kids are coming on this, I take it.
I mean, they have to, right?
Because he said they need to experience Disney with Uncle Brian.
Bring them in.
Money guy at Disney World. There's no better time. That's where he screwed up.
Do you know how heartbreaking it was for my girls, would you love them? Because like they were young and they were bickering and fighting and they were tired. But man, we got to that resort pool. Woo! They loved it. And I was like, girls, we could have done this back home. Like this was something we could have solved this problem. But you know what? It's a memory, and it's blossoming even right now.